Hi there. It's time for another story. So today's story is called The Gopher in Farmer Burrows' Field. It is written by Michael Bolt, as well as the illustrations are by Michael Bolt as well. Farmer Bolt was an ordinary farmer who had an ordinary farm. Ordinary, that is, until gophers moved into the field on the south side of the barn. At first, his new neighbors were sort of amusing, but things soon started to get out of hand. Farmer Burrows began to notice that his crops were being eaten. Then he noticed problems his cows were having in the fields. Something had to be done. The gophers gotta go. So he filled their holes with dirt and water and stacked rocks on top of it all. That didn't work. The gophers stayed. The fact, it seemed, to inspire the gophers, and Farmer Burrows soon had an entirely different set of problems. It started with the chickens. The next morning it was the cows. It continued with something new almost every day. I wonder what the gophers are going to do next. He didn't know how because he never saw them do it. But Farmer Burrows knew it was the gophers. All the strangeness at the Burrows farm didn't go unnoticed. The other farmers wouldn't believe Farmer Burrows' crazy gopher stories. They thought he should forget all of this nonsense and go back to normal farming. So that's exactly what he did, though it was often a bit tricky. Then one day, a lawyer knocked on his door with an offer to buy his land. The county was building a new highway between two cities and wanted to run it straight through his land. Farmer Burrows was overjoyed at the thought of selling his troublesome farm and moved away to a small island where he could sunbathe every day. The county workers and heavy machinery arrived on the old Burrows farm and began highway construction. At first, everything was running smoothly, but strange things began to happen. At first, they were fairly minor distractions, thought to be the work of some pranksters. The minor distractions soon turned into major obstacles that no one could explain. Highway construction fell behind schedule and looked as though it would never be completed. The projects halted until the ideas for solutions could be thought up. One day, Farmer Brown received a phone call from the mainland. It was the county's lawyer again. He had an offer to sell the farm back for a very good price. Since he had grown quite tired of sunbathing on the beaches, he packed up his suitcase and sunscreen and jumped on the first plane he saw. And so Farmer Burrows returned to his fairly odd farm. Though he didn't do much farming anymore. A new project now looked took up most of his time. Let's try that paragraph again. Though he didn't do much farming, then a new project took up most of his time. You see, the county still finished the highway between the two cities, but it now ran around Burrows' farm instead of through it. It was a busy road, and all the people driving by could see very strange sights in his field. Are those Gophers up to no good again? He called it farm art, and cars and trucks from all over would stop and take pictures for a small fee. Farmer Burrows and the Gophers seemed to come to an understanding. He no longer tried to get rid of them, and in return, they became much less active. They only created a few new exhibits each year, which suited Farmer Burrows just fine. And that was the Gophers and Farmer Burrows fields. What would you have done if you were Farmer Burrows? How would you have dealt with the Gophers? That's it for today. We will have some more stories coming out this week. Hope all is well, and stay healthy.